welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at a board game, slash kind of war game, called 1793, Patriots and Traitors, the French Revolution, Year 2, which is a very long subtitle, I realize that. So this is a game that's designed by, or published by, Sound of Drums, which is a Swiss-based company, I believe, and it's designed by Jason Saint-Just, or Saint-Just. I don't want to butcher that. But, so it's obviously a game about the French Revolution. If you've not heard of Sound of Drums, they're a new-ish war game company. They've put out a few different types of games. And the one thing that you'll notice, and we'll see that in this box, the kind of hallmark of a Sound of Drums game is stunning production value. There is a hardback book, I actually have it up on my bedside table, that I'm reading, which is kind of a history and a exploration of all of this in a like faux leather-bound hardback book, and it's a really, really neat production that they kind of threw in as part of the crowdfunding to get this done. So this can sit 1 through 5 people. It takes, up to a couple hours to play, but it's really easy to solitaire. I believe there's a whole kind of solitaire mode of it. And it's an asymmetrical CDG style game. So you have different card levels and different card amounts and different powers as the different factions vie for control during the French Revolution. So let's take a look at what we got inside. Also, I don't know when you're seeing this, hopefully it's very soon, but this was sent to us a little bit early, like this is early doors. So I don't know when yours are going to arrive. I think they're arriving soon-ish, but they were very generous and sent us this a little early so we could get it out and show you guys what it's like, so that you can see this whilst it's still in stock. So we have a multiplayer rulebook, and we have a 1 to 2 player rulebook. So separate rulebooks if you want to do it either 2-player or do the solitaire rules. And for reference, those rules, I think, include just kind of the changes. So you're going to need to read the multiplayer rulebook, which explains how to read it all. But if you look, it's a 2-column standard, but it's full color, lots of different examples and diagrams and illustrations. So yeah, sure, it is 30 pages of rules. That's really very manageable set of rules. And then again, a couple additional rules if you want the solitaire stuffs, basically. So those are the rule books, really, really nice. Nice segments of play on the back as well. We have the Paris Board Player Aid, the Leader Cards Player Aid. Okay, and then these are this is a bifold, so this explains all those different cards for the leaders. But I don't think this is. Let me just make sure. Yes, the Law Cards Play Aid, and so these are just quick references with extra detail and explanation of the different actions on the different cards. And then we have the action cards played, again, very similar. This one's a trifold, opens all the way out. I love a game where, in the card explanation, they explain it, and they do not simply just restate what's on the cards. I actually find that really frustrating about CDG rules, because if I have a question about the card, I don't want to go to the rules, find it, and then it's just like a piece of history, or it's just like the same text copied from the card. I need it to explain it a different way or explain it more, and so that's something that I'm glad that they have. Okay, let's get the board out. And normally I kind of save that till a bit later, but it's important to kind of see this. So if you can see here, it's kind of hard to tell, but this is one of those recessed boards. So it's a double layered board. Yeah, you can see that, especially if you look in the light here. This is a recessed patch, so is this, so are these cards, and so is the wheat and the gnaw, and then so is this little track, which I believe, oh, that's interesting that it's, oh, that's so cool. I think these are names of people, but also dates on them. I think those are names of people. I don't speak French, so I'm pretty sure that's what that says. But yeah, anyway. But so, map of Paris, kind of loosely. Not loosely, but this is a fairly abstract map of Paris. What we have is these kind of punch boards, which have these, so this is Notre Dame, and this will go into kind of, not that one, that doesn't fit there. Where does it go? Where does the cathedral's on the center, isn't it? Oh, does it go the other way around? Maybe I'm upside down and that's my problem here. Is the... Well, either way, they slot into these parts of the board, and so it actually has kind of a notch here that it fits in, but the notch is on the other side, so you can easily kind of fish them out as well. Then this also has these little punch boards, which you're going to punch out, because I believe you'll be putting cubes into these. But I think the layout of the board will change, and that will alter the course of replayability within the game space. And we also have this kind of off-map, larger kind of single board, which is the broader picture of Paris, of France, sorry. There. We have a whole bunch of wood, which we will get to. We have some very nice different kind of canvas bags to hold our pieces in, with the different factions on them, which I will not attempt to pronounce other than the Jacobins and the Royalists, because, again, my French pronunciation is awful. And then each of the different players has their own little player board, which has the objective, which I presume is their victory conditions, how to organize a civil war, and how to organize a coup d'etat, with all of the prereqs of how you're going to do that, with a holding box down here as well. And are these different? Are those the same? No, I think all of these are both the same. Yeah, they look to be, that's the case, yes. The objectives are different, but this organizing a coup d'etat and organizing the civil war are both, those are the same on all of those. There's a single-sided player boards, again, up to 5 players. Now we have in the box, which has this pretty decent shipping package insert, a couple decks of cards. I'll probably keep that in there. A lot of the box inserts I don't keep from most game companies, but that's pretty sturdy and there's a lot of stuff in here. So I don't want that just kind of loose. So these are huge tarot-sized cards, and they have, I think on this side, every time I do this, I'm like, oh, it's a little easy open, and then I make an absolute ham sandwich of it. There we go. But as you can see already, this is what I'm talking about when we talk about really good production value, especially in the historical game space. They're really taking, this is also a linen, is it? It's like a very lightly linen finished board. But they're taking notes from other sectors of the board gaming hobby where production's really important. And I'm not saying it's not important within the wargaming space, it's just that we've got more people playing, there's more money coming in, we can afford to kind of deck the games out so that they also look nice as well as being good historical games. Anyway, that's my little rant here. So here's the deck of cards, this is the back of them, they're all the same. But you'll have these really great paintings from history, the name, and then the rules of kind of what the cards are going to do. They also have these, I don't know what you would call those, ribbons, maybe? But lots of these for the deck, and I think those are action cards specifically. And the other deck of cards, this one was a little bit easier to open. Let's see, are these similar? Okay, so that's regular cards. And so for the regular cards, again, it's more of the same, but these are, I think, are the leaders. And remember, we had that leader player aid reference card, which I put back in the box now. But those go into this deck. They have the same back, I think. However, the lore cards, of which there are a bunch. Lore card, there we go. These have a different border on them, and these are different laws that I presume are going to get pulled, and are going to put restrictions onto, onto the game space, the game area, and I presume these are going to go out, and then you're going to vote on those of whether or not they go into effect, which is where you want a game of 5 players with this. You want to have all the people to do that with. But yeah, these ones are separate. I wonder if these are extra, or if those are from the Kickstarter or whatever. I'm not sure about those, but they were organized in a way that makes me think they were a little bit different. Or they could have just not fit in the original deck. Anyway, let's take a look at what we get wooden pieces wise, because again, we're just taking a step up. So we've got what you might expect from a game like this, wooden cubes, very Euro-y in that sense. But we also have some really, really neat pieces. And I don't know the names of these, but anytime you have a meeple guillotine, sorry, this way around, come on, you're kidding me, that's awesome. Come on, that's awesome. And we have these hats for the little, these guys. And then we have this here for the royalists, I presume. I don't know if those are color-coded. They could be, in which case it would go with these dudes, but we have player pieces in the different colors. I just dropped one. Let me not forget that. Here it is. Then we have leaders, I think. Oh, hot air balloon going on. And I don't even know what that is, but ships. There's a lot of different wooden pieces in here. So it's going to be a great game to have on the table. And I know it's a bit of a change of pace from something like a Hex Encounter, but playing within the French Revolutionary space, even if it is kind of a dudes on a map or a worker placement style game, that back and forth struggle, where it was so much social struggle as well as outright armed conflict, I'm on board. I'm excited for it. But that's everything that you get inside of 1793 Patriots and Traitors. At least that's kind of the game part of it. Maybe there's also like a whole bunch of other stuff. But I'm very excited to get this played. I like that there's solo built into it, that there's a 2-player option, but it can play up to 5, because these kinds of games, especially when there's some element of voting, the more players, the merrier. I think it just makes for more back and forth and table talk that I find very enjoyable in the game space. But check this out from Sound of Drums, and appreciate you very much for tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com.